Hi guys, this is Hover and this is probably going to be the last video of 2017 and I hope you guys had a wonderful year. For me, I feel like this year was in most part a lot more blessed than my couple of previous years. I was, very happy, although some, there have been a lot of things happening as they do. All the time. That's life. So, I can't be late with this video, so I'm just gonna bulldoze right through this. And today I wanted to show you a few products that I have been loving absolutely to the core. Some of them for years, some of them were actually quite a recent discovery. I just love these products so much. They are totally Holy Grail worthy. And as usual, I'm going to start with skincare. And of course, the first step of skincare is cleansing, and I know this is made by my friend, but I have no shame. This by far is like the best final cleanser. Can I say that? Like a soapy cleanser that I have ever used. I've only used this for I think 2-3 weeks now, and you know what? I have no shame in saying this is my holy grail. I've never been happy with my foam cleanser ever in my life, I think. If I did, it was at least like 3-4 years ago and I don't remember it anymore. And I've been like jumping from this foam cleanser to the other. I was never happy. And then Leah came up with her Krave beauty line. This is called the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is like the weirdest formula I've ever seen in a cleanser. It's like a gel, but it's not a gel, and it lathers up, but it doesn't foam up into this like, can you see? Into this like weak lather, and it is so like soft and moisturizing. You are never gonna feel that squeaky clean feeling, like no matter how you try to rinse it off, like you rub your face to rinse it off, it is not gonna feel squeaky clean. And because it does not make your skin squeaky clean, it is so hydrating. It feels like your skin is so soft and supple. Since I have dry skin, when I'm done washing my face, there is that 1-second window where my skin would feel hydrating, and then it jumps right onto this like tightening feeling inside my skin, really, in the deep dermal layer. I'm not sure it is biologically it, but it feels like it. This one, like the window is much bigger. I'm not saying that it is not tightening after washing, because I do have, am I in the center? Because I do have dry skin, but my skin feels a lot more comforting and just hallelujah. It is not unscented, it is not odorless, but I mean it is unscented, but it is not odorless. But still, I don't think it's a scent. It's a smell that'll kill anyone. So like I don't care. Like it leaves my skin so hydrated and soft. That's all I could ask for. And moving on, I have 2 exfoliators and I just really couldn't leave out either of these 2. I'm gonna start with my old favorite. This is COSRX One Step Moisture Up Pad. I have mentioned it in one of my more recent beauty videos. This, I believe, is my 4th tub. This is the Moisture Up version, which is a lot more hydrating. It is a lot less greasy than the red one, I think. I'm not really sure. Since I have dry skin, I started using this. I've never tried the red one. It says that it contains propolis and hyaluronic acid. With this thing is that because it has a pad, one side is rather softer and the other side is embossed. If you use it on a daily basis, you can just use the smoother version. If you have sensitive skin, every 2nd to 3rd day, you can use the rougher surface. If you feel that your skin is super clogged up, that's when you go on and use the rougher side. I never had any problems with it. I think I used it every 2nd or 3rd day, but of course it is meant to be a daily product. I'm too lazy. But still, I felt like this was not strong enough, but yet, since I have sensitive skin, that's not a bad thing. And then Leah came up with this, again, like no shame. Kale-lalu-yAHA. And it is a AHA liquid exfoliator. What I do, me being a lazy head, I have this little mason jar, small mason jar, and I keep not too many, just a few cotton pads, round cotton pads that fit right into it, and I just poured some of the Kale-lalu-yAHA in it. Hence, you know, it's only been a few weeks and I've already used up this much. This is definitely a lot stronger than the COSRX moisture pad. You feel that tingly sensation when you apply it. If you have sensitive skin, it'll do more so. But apparently it's not supposed to actually sting, and luckily it does not sting on me. Sometimes I feel like COSRX pads, since they are so mild, it really doesn't work unless I use it on a daily basis. To be honest, guys, I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered to increase one more step in my skincare routine. I'm just that lazy. I know I used to be religious on the 10-step skincare routine and stuff, but now I'm like, it's down to like 5 at most. And then when I used this was like strong enough, but it did not sting my skin. So when I use it, it polishes my skin like almost instantly. Now, this is supposed to be a hydrating product as well for an exfoliator. Exfoliating is extremely drying. If you do not moisturize after exfoliating, you're just making things worse. Your skin will try and generate more and more skin cells onto the surface, which means you're gonna have even more dead skin cells building up on your outermost skin layer. No matter how hydrating this is, if you have dry skin, that means you lack both moisture and oil. And this cannot give you both. So that just gives you, you know, a little bit of time for your skincare routine. Maybe you can skip a hydrating toner at most. But I do not advise you skip a moisturizer because you heard that is moisturizing. If you have dry skin, that is the worst thing you can do. So go on and moisturize. My forehead is the driest part of my face. So sometimes when I exfoliate this part as well, my skin does feel a bit like flaky up top. So I do warn you, if you have dry skin, you do not go by moisturizing. This product caters for all skin type. So if you have dry skin, you obviously always have to add the extra hydrating or moisturizing step. Okay, so that's that. And just like the packaging, it's just so pretty, and it has kale, spinach, parsley, aloe, glycolic acid, which is AHA, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin B5. I wonder what vitamin B5 does. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. Next product is this NatureRepublic Herb Blending Essence. It is this lovely concoction of beautiful, like bright lemon yellow. I just shook it by mistake, but it has this oil layer and then this like essence, and it smells gorgeous. It's like a floral and herbal sort of smell blended together. After the hydrating steps, I get 2 pumps of this to sort of start adding oil into my skin, and this makes my skin so supple and so soft and so, like, you know that word mochi mochi? This is what it does to your skin. Like, it makes your skin look so plump and supple. It just like makes your skin so much smoother, and I just absolutely love that. So like, I don't even know what else to say. If you have dry skin, get that. Now it's time for me to revisit my old favorite. The older version of this has been featured on my videos at least like 5 times. And this is the upgraded version of EtudeHouse Mineral Bottle Mist. The new version is now called the Iron Water Coconut Hydrating Serum Mist. Like the name suggests, it has coconut oil in it, and the scent is like so coconutty, like you cannot believe. Actually, you can. It just smells like coconut stuff, like coconut soap, coconut, whatever, it smells like that. What's different from the older version is that it actually has a layer of oil. Can you see that milky layer of oil? Now, because of this oil has that filmy sort of coating effect on the skin a lot more quicker than the older version, because that older version was just very moisturizing liquid water. Like, I can't really say it's better or it's worse. The biggest difference is that now that's scented. So the previous one, it had like it literally smelled like sparkling water gone flat. I don't know how to explain the scent any other way. And the second biggest is that oil layer that you have to shake to mix. And the third is that coating feeling that you get immediately after spraying it. Now I feel like it is a lot more moisturizing oil-wise, but is it more hydrating? I'm not really sure. But then again, I used the older version like so many years ago, and then I was like, I'm gonna try something else. So there was like at least like a year gap where I didn't use the previous version. But I'm just gonna say it is just as moisturizing, maybe slightly oilier. If you had dehydrated oily skin, I'm not really sure you will like it because it does have that oily feeling to it that is a lot more prominent than in the previous version. But if you have dry skin, you will enjoy it nonetheless. I feel like I sort of kind of like it better because it smells nicer. I know. I've used this for about a month. Not every day because I'm lazy, like I mentioned, but I've already used like half of it. So that's, says quite a bit. And you know that spraying thing, it still sprays finely like a mist. It sprays the same, so you don't have to worry about that. Cat hair. And now finally I have a couple of makeup products, only 2 actually. And this is also quite a recent, but I felt that this just really deserved to be in my Holy Grail list because I just fell in love with it like after 2 use. The first time I was using it, I was using the wrong medium for my skin. So I was like, I don't know. And then when I realized that this works best on my skin with a wet sponge, I have never looked back. It's just like my staple now, and I'm also wearing it now. This is Lancome's Temp Miracle, the newest version, and the shade is 0015. I already sort of mentioned it in my previous video. I was also wearing it then, and this is so hydrating. It is so creamy. I actually tried to make a first impression video, but then it's first impression. It doesn't really have my overall review of it. It's just really creamy, and on the touch it is hydrating, and that hydration, it stays there. So I'm wearing it now, and I actually have a very light dusting of powder over it, my Laura Mercier powder, and it still looks glowing. I mean, I do have like highlighter on top, but it's still like dewy looking. And this is actually quite a yellow shade, which means there's like this inner Simpson inside of me. Anyway, so I love it. It does not oxidize to like a big degree. I think it just like blended into my skin, and this is relatively a fresh coat, so it will oxidize a little bit more, but it will not be dramatic. It will not change tones. It'll just really sort of sink into my skin tone, which is slightly darker than this, maybe half a shade darker than this. And my hand is darker than my facial skin, by the way. It matches my undertone, it matches my shade, it matches my skin type. Like, there is nothing I can complain about it. And it lasts a generous amount of time. I think it lasts about 2 hours perfectly. And going into like 3rd, 4th hour, it sort of starts dissolving in my facial oil kind of thing, because I have dry to dehydrated oily skin sort of thing. So yeah, I very much love it. Now, final product. So this was my best discovery in winter. In summer, I was obsessed with Espoir's Taping Concealer Moist Up in beige. So when I first used it, I was like, hey, this is actually quite a yellow shade, but look, it actually looks a little bit pinker in comparison. Does it not? In real life, it looks slightly pinker than the Temp Miracle, so Temp Miracle is like super yellow. Now I would say this is like a neutral tone, and for it being a stick concealer, it is so moisturizing. This is actually more moisturizing than the liquid counterpart. There's like a whole collection of taping concealers, and surprisingly, this I felt was like the most moisturizing despite the formula. It's like a balm sort of, solid thing, but it is a lot more moisturizing. So like I was like, what the heck? Like, I have to get this. So I bought it, and I'm wearing it underneath my foundation on my dark circles and around my mouth. And it has very little oxidization, very little darkening. Matches my skin tone. I really love it. I used to use it instead of foundation all throughout the summer, and there was not a moment I hated it unless my skin was in a really, really bad shape. Nothing could have, made up for it and stuff. And that wraps up my rather short list of Holy Grails, but I feel like it's the creme de la creme. If I start introducing more products, I felt like it was going to be endless. So I tried to make this list as short as possible. These are my top recommendation. Please go and try them out, and I will see you guys next year with more beauty content, hopefully, and more vlogs. And of course, there are a couple of videos that I promised, like the Style Nanda mood recipe palettes and stuff, and they are still to come in January, so please stay tuned, and I will see you guys next year. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely end of year holiday, and thanks for watching. Bye! All the time, that's life, that's drama. Anyway,